Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Nick Month 2. This time it's personal. And, yeah, we're on the final leg here. I have one more after this. But today we're talking about the Nickelodeon television film Blurt. And, well, I couldn't remember what this one was about. And now having watched it, I can see why. It's kind of. Were they running out of ideas here? Like the next one, he's just a kid detective. Saying that. This is kind of. It's liar, liar, but kidified and changed a bit. So Jeremy, played by Chase Norman, puts on some weird machine at the mall, accidentally falls in the water, and his inner monologue, when you think to yourself, that goes bye-bye, and it now says whatever's on his mind. That's the premise. There's a school election and a hot girl that he has or in his eyes, hot girl that he has a thing for. Although I think she's like 25. She looks like she's 25 in this movie. I don't know. And Jojo Siwa is also here. It's his little sister. Because this is when they were pushing Jojo Siwa. Because they're still trying to find a way to beat Hannah Montana 10 years later. It's coming out in 2018. Yeah. So this was okay. This is not one we watched a lot. Splitting Atom and the Henry Danger stuff we watched a lot more. Maybe we watched Rufus more than once. I don't know. I think it was to the point that we were watching these because he was in them. My son liked them. He said, "Oh, it's Henry Danger. So we gotta watch him when he's in them," and it was just sort of happening. Yeah, and they were trying to get as much as they could out of Chase Norman on Nickelodeon. Still now with Henry Danger the movie, but yeah. But oh yeah. We start off in a car ride, and I said I don't remember what this was. I just pressed play, and I watched it, and like he starts. I thought there was something wrong with the audio because he's sitting there, and we hear his voice, but we don't see his lips moving. And I'm like, what's something wrong with the audio? Then I realized, oh, it's his thoughts, it's inner monologue. It's not. He's not actually talking. It does confuse me sometimes when he does that, but yeah. And so his sister is a dancer because Jojo Siwa was a dancer, or is a dance, whatever. They're fully promoting her. Like later, there's a sequence where she has a dance recital, and she's dancing to her own song. So are they trying to say that Jojo Siwa exists in this world where this girl looks like Jojo Siwa? It's very confusing. And is she supposed to be singing the song because she's not? Like you're supposed to, it's very obviously music that they're playing from a speaker. But she's supposed to, I don't know. So we see a day in the life of Jeremy. He's walked over by people, he's picked on, he's made to do people's homework. Even though this dude is almost taller than the guy who's picking on him. Like, I don't cast Chase Norman to play a nerd. Look at him now. I don't think he'd play a nerd now. But I guess it was the hair, maybe? I don't know. But, you gotta do this guy's homework. I don't know what his name is. I don't really care. But this guy's running for class president, so he doesn't have time to do his own homework. He also has a crush on this girl, Corinne. And the one thing I hated about this is that they always go in the route of, like, it's one of those situations. You have those movies, the teen movies or whatever, where guy's in love with girl, but it turns out girl is a bitch, or girl's not the one for him. And really, his best friend is the one that should be with. Well, he doesn't have a best friend. He pals around with his sister most of the time. He doesn't have a guy friend in this. There's another girl, but she's like just a schoolmate of his. You don't really even know much of each other. They're not friends or anything. But by the end, it's like, oh, she's kind of cute. Oh, he's kind of cute. And it turns out that the girl he had a crush on was a bitch the whole time. So it's like one of those tropes. But they're doing that trope without really doing the trope with the best friend, because she's not really the best friend, but they're still doing that trope. And I don't know, even Sky High did this trope. We'll talk about that in December, but like they went an extra way with that one. But yeah, I don't know. But he's got a crush on this girl Corinne, and so he and his sister go to the mall. She wants to go there, and he sees this guy who's selling this thing called Inner Voice. So what he does is that he put it on, and your thoughts create a virtual reality world for you. So he visualizes Corinne, and it's done in CGI, which I don't understand why they couldn't just, like, I understand realistically that's what it's going to look like, but this is a movie. Why not do the thing like, remember virtual reality in the 90s? They made it look like a full motion video on the thing. Whereas, yes, now it's more realistic that it's going to be CGI. Sure. Because we've advanced so much that we know what the virtual reality is going to look like. But it always bugs me that this is a movie you can literally make virtual reality be whatever the fuck you want it to be. Pardon my language. Whatever the hell you want it to be. Better, but and you just go for the more realistic, it's going to look like CGI. This little CGI girl that he's dancing with, and he ends up dancing with a mannequin. Where have I seen that in a movie before? Twice. And he ends up falling in the pools that malls have for some reason. Those fountains. They have pools, fountains. And it short circuits. And now he cannot keep his thoughts from coming out. He's just says his thoughts, whatever on his mind, and he says. Ironically, it makes him a little more popular, and he decides to run for class president against the other dude. Yeah. And it works. He starts saying his mind, speaking his mind. They go back to the guy, and he says, well, you can't, I can't reverse it. You have to start speaking your mind. He goes, I am. That's the problem. He goes, no, you have to go out there. It's one of those lessons where it's one of those things where the lesson is, if you speak your mind, tell the truth, and everything, it'll come back around. And I don't know. Well, all this also impresses Corinne, who then starts to want to hang out with him and help him win this election. But she uses dirty tactics. See, they're at the cool hangout spot when the other girl is putting out flyers. And so she says what she would do with the whole situation with the Spanish club and chess club and everything. And so Corinne uses this to her advantage. She's moderating this debate, I guess. She puts Jeremy front and center and the other two on the side. And asks the one dude, the bully dude, questions about skipping school and stealing bikes and shit. Then she asks Jeremy the questions that should be asked. That she knows he's going to blurt out the answers to, but she doesn't really know. I don't know. That the one girl said. So he says those. And then asks the same questions to that girl. And she's, I have to agree with Jeremy then. Until he comes clean and says, no, actually everything I said was her idea, not mine. And then she said, well, I have a lot more than that. And then, yeah, now that he's told the truth, the inner monologue is back. And, and now they both kind of think each other is cute. And he tells off Corinne. And I do like that the first time he sees her, we hear Dreamweaver. Then he tells her off, and then she sees the Dreamweaver with his slow motion hair thing. It's kind of funny. But, that's the movie. I know I went through it kind of quick, but it's really just it. There's not a lot to it. It's only 44 minutes or so. It's not that long. There's not a lot to it. And honestly, it's okay. It's just fine. Is it the worst of the Jason Norman movies that I've reviewed for this channel that they made? There's Splitting Adam, there's the two Rufuses, and there's this one, and then there's Bixler High. I haven't watched Bixler High yet. I've rewatched, I should say. But as of right now, yeah, kinda. It's kind of a stupid idea. Like they're trying to figure out, gimmicks to use. You had let's make clones of him. Let's turn to a duck. That was popular. Let's do another one. And now there's this one. Oh, he just speaks whatever's on his mind. I saw Liar Liar last night and thought of this idea, but instead of telling the truth, he just speaks whatever's on his mind. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's not a wish. It's a thing. And how can getting shocked by this device is how this happens, but telling the truth is what reverses it? It doesn't really make much sense to me. And that's probably because they only had an hour runtime. Gotta make it 44 minutes. We can put commercials in there for an hour. It really doesn't have a lot the time to, say things. I also forgot that there's a transversal thing. So he was with Corinne, came back, and he blurted out something that caused her to fall, his sister to fall. She's mad at him, but then at the end, she's proud of him for speaking his mind and everything. And yeah, speak your mind, truth will follow, whatever that song is. But yeah, I'll give it a low middle of the road because it's not bad, but it's my least favorite. It's just there, it's just there. And I can see the reason why I haven't revisited this till now, or we never rewatched it. It was probably deleted very quickly from the DVR, even though we kept everything. Probably, it just wasn't. Yeah. Forget about Henry Danger's movie. I also count that. I'm not counting the specials, but Henry Danger's movie I'll count. That's a movie. So, yeah. So what are your thoughts on Blurt? Let me comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm this guy, and I'll see you in the next one.